And now I'm going to introduce our guest speaker for us as well. Is John Summerfield is local here to Pendleton area and has been running an outdoor school for quite a few years. And so we wanted him to give you a few words on what he does, how he does it, and you can certainly queue up a bunch of questions for him as well, so that if you do have questions about starting your own school, you'll be able to ask him.
Well, good morning. I'm John Summerfield. First, want to start by saying go Beavs. My daughter will be attending this fall as a freshman there, and I'm really impressed with Oregon State. You're really hitting on all of the important aspects of running an outdoor school program, curriculum, equity, all of the different topics. So with Measure 99, it will be nice to have the entire state on board. I'll say some things specific to the Pendleton district. The program, to my understanding, has been running for 45 years plus, started in 1972. There were two gentlemen in particular that were instrumental in the development of the program. A gentleman by the name of Vern Wilcox and Jim Christensen, who I've had the pleasure of knowing and tapping into their minds for great ideas. They got the program running. A lot of people will ask, John, how did you get an outdoor school program running? Well, my particular situation is that I inherited a great program. I came to the district in 2007, and I've been involved as a sixth grade teacher and a coordinator in some capacity all of those years. Prior to that, I taught in the North Platte School District. We also had an outdoor school program, and it was one of the ones where, Chris, you mentioned earlier, some districts will go to a completely different area. The kids in North Clackamas went to Camp Westwind at the Oregon coast, and it was a very unique ecosystem there. You had the Salmon River estuary right outside of Lincoln City, and it was run a little bit different. The field studies were led by college counselors. So I've seen different programs run different ways. In Pendleton, our camp is approximately 35 miles from here. It is upriver on the Umatilla. It's actually off the South Fork of the Umatilla River. It's a very rustic place. It's also a terrific camp, very near and dear to my heart. It is referred to now as the Buck Creek Cabins. Years back, when I first started, it was called Kiwanis Cabin. The Kiwanis, local Kiwanis group, had a vested interest in the cabins, and hence the name. The name has changed. It's a unique camp in many respects. The boys sleep in one area up in the camp at the main cabin, and the girls get bused 1.5 miles down the river, and that area is called Corporation. We have a unique relationship between our local ESD, our school district, and the Forest Service. The Forest Service owns the land, and they own all the sites. The ESD leases the land, and the school district, Pendleton, benefits from using the facilities. We typically go up in the month of May for 3 consecutive weeks, depending on the configuration. Last year, we had 9 different classrooms go up. You cannot take 9 classrooms at a time. We had about 260 kids running around. You would not feasible. So we break it into 3 different groups, 3 classrooms at a time. Like I say, we have so many relationships that we have built over the years. I think I take it for granted sometimes. We work with local agencies. We as teachers don't have to lead the field studies. We rely on our local experts to teach those field studies, and because of that, the quality is really outstanding. Our problem is occasionally we'll have to tell somebody that we don't have room for them. Let me give you an example. I'll just give you kind of a cross-section of the folks that we have on a regular basis. We work with the Forest Service. We work with the Department of Environmental Quality, DEQ. We have water resources, state level, local level. The Confederated Tribes also provide some of our field studies, and more recently, that has increased because we're always wanting to improve our relationship. We have about 20 to 25% of our student body are Native American kids. We have a Blue Mountain Recovery Group. There's a woman in our community by the name of Lynn Tompkins who has raptors, rescue birds, and that is a very powerful field study for kids up there. So many advantages to outdoor school. Chris, again, you spoke to it. What are the pluses? We find more and more that we have kids in our community that have never been out in the woods. They've never gone camping. And you're right, some of the kids that struggle the most behavior in the classroom do a great job up at outdoor school. I'm not the most linear thinker either here, so I've got my list here just like Mary did earlier. Curriculum-wise, there's not a set curriculum. I guess what drives our curriculum are the field studies that we have. We run a 3-day program, 2-night, 3-day. Our kids go up on a Wednesday, and it's sort of an introduction day where they do hikes and they get to know their counselors. Our counselors are recruited from the high school. There's a process that we go through. We take up sophomores, juniors, and seniors to be counselors. That is a wonderful opportunity. The kids loved it in 6th grade, and they cannot wait to get back as a high school counselor. My daughter, as an example, she was a high school counselor several years, and it's a real testimony to how powerful outdoor school is. It is the one thing that you remember from your grade school and middle school years. And in Pendleton, it's definitely a rite of passage. Our community supports it very strongly, very heavily. We have had years where the community has had to kick in and help out financially, but it is a community that is really behind their outdoor school program. Just recently, with the amount of schools that were, because of Measure 99, a lot of schools are able to tap into the funding. We got a lot of phone calls. Typically, Pendleton has been the only school district at the Buck Creek cabins. This past year, Union County, Athena, Weston, who else, Matt?
8 districts.
Okay, 8 districts total utilize those Buck Creek cabins. That is that much more use than we've had in the past. With that, there's going to be a little bit more wear and tear. But already, the emphasis is on maintaining the cabin. As I said earlier, it's a pretty rustic place. We do not have flush toilets at the boys' cabin, and that's where the boys and the girls are all day. So we have to be creative about our resources. We have to bring in porta potty units. There are a lot of moving pieces, and if you are somebody new to this, just know that the commitment is kind of year-round. There's so many things to be thinking about in the ways of supplies, replenishing. And I would say some advice to a brand new district is don't bite off more than you can chew. You do not have to do every single thing to make it a top-notch program. Just do what you can handle. Union County is an example of this. They're very small. They had 25 kids, and Carter, the gentleman that was running the program, he was constantly calling me. But we are more than willing to help. We're kind of glad to be in that position. Up at outdoor school, I said earlier that Wednesday was the day that kids would come and just kind of get used to the camp, and we do hikes and a lot of get-to-know-you type of activities. A big part of our program are the art and the recreation activities that we run. Don't get me wrong, we're doing outdoor school up there as well. We do the field studies for a full day on Thursdays, and then runs from like 9 in the morning till about 2 in the afternoon. They go through 4 different sessions, each session lasting roughly an hour. Some of the art activities that we do an art activity called a God's Eye. It involves yarn and string. We're making artistic little creations. We do some rock painting, what are called frames, beading, leaf imprints. So we really keep the kids busy up there. from morning until nighttime. And then as far as recreations, we do cross country, hiking and running, BB guns, archery, gold pen, boating activities, and ladder ball. So we keep the kids very busy. I think they enjoy it and have a really great time. I want to brag a little bit about the Pendleton School District. I'd like to show you some of the things that we do that I think are unique to our program. And like I said earlier, if you're a first-year district, don't feel like you have to just dive into this. I doubt that if 46 years ago when the Pendleton School District started, that they printed off T-shirts. I'll bet they didn't do that. But we do that now. One of the things that I love about being involved with the outdoor school program, I don't have to do it alone. I have very committed sixth grade teachers that love being up there, and we share the load. We really do. We have different teachers take on different aspects of it to make it run smoothly. I wanted to show you last year's T-shirts that we produced. Nicole Irwin is a staff member on our sixth grade team, and for the past few years, she has been responsible for producing the T-shirt. We work with a local company that prints these. There is a cost involved, and as was spoken earlier, it's understood that this is funded by the local district. Kids individually pay for them, but it's really kind of neat. It's really nice step at outdoor school to see kids wearing these shirts. This happens to be the most recent from last year. And one of the takeaways that the kids get to receive is a lanyard. The kids learn how to do macrame, and it does take a little bit of time in the classroom. It does take away a little bit from instruction, but I got to tell you, I think the long-term benefit out of that is that they learn a really neat skill. They learn something really unique and something that they can pass on to other kids. When those kids become 7th graders and 8th graders, you better believe they're saying, Mr. Summerfield, can I teach the kids how to do that when you're ready? There they are. So I was going to show you just real quickly a little artifact that we have, and year after year, we've been doing it for years. This is my daughter's right here. So this little hunk of wood right here, we call it a wood cookie. It's just a piece of ponderosa pine. Who cuts those? I do. But it's a labor of love. Got a nice saw out of it, so I love doing it. My wife does the calligraphy on there. We do the shellacking. This is as long as I have been with the district, and I'm sure many years before I was there, this is one of the projects that the kids do in anticipation of going to outdoor school. And then the little leather badges that you see, we have a local saddle maker. He is world renowned. His name is Randy Severe. We utilize his leather shop, and for a cost, we produce these leather badges right here. And these leather badges cover everything from the living group that the kids were in to activities that they do. You complete a hike, you earn a badge. And it's really fantastic to see kids wearing these up at outdoor school. It's one of the things that I just dearly love doing year after year. Is it involved? Is it time consuming? You better believe it is, but it's also very worth the effort. So I just wanted to speak to some of the things that were unique about Pendleton, some of the things that we do. If you have questions down the road that you would like to ask, please do. I understand we'll have the opportunity to field those questions. So it's really a pleasure to be up here today, to be a part of the conversation.